Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. Today we're doing some top 15s. This one is top 15 real creepy killer clown sightings. We're not even gonna wait. Hey everybody, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm still trying to get to 200 subscribers. I just want to reach that goal. Hope you all help me do it. Help me reach that 200 subscriber goal, everybody. I know we can do it. I know we can do it. Hit that like and subscribe button. Comment what you think down below. Are you guys ready? Of course you're ready. Let's go.
Number 15. A prank gone too far. 23-year-old Nathaniel Donovan is an Afghanistan war veteran who has completed a tour in 2012. In early November of last year, he decided to do a second tour, but this time in his hometown of Chesterfield, Virginia, as a clown, carrying...
My more curiosity, right, is who's this guy doing the voice? He has more of a massive voice than Chills does.
A huge knife. A school bus drops the kids off after a long day of school and drives away. The large veteran stomps towards them in a killer clown outfit while holding a knife. The kids start to run away from him and he gives pursuit. Meanwhile, nearby parents were scared out of their minds and frantically called 911.
I was about to say, this isn't a prank where everyone's gonna laugh at you. If you run at them with a knife, they're gonna come looking for some stuff. So I don't know what the goal was here. I don't know what the plan was. This is meant to go wrong. And that's what happened. This guy thought this would be a funny prank, yet it just was a stupid idea. Stupid people do stupid things. Example.
The police showed up quickly and arrested the psycho clown without having to fire any shots. He now faces 2 charges. One is a serious felony that carries up to 10 years in prison and a $15,000 fine. Nathaniel claims that he did this just as a prank, but the federal justice system doesn't seem to be laughing. Now, I'd like to pause this countdown for a second and ask you all a question. Are you afraid of clowns? Please leave me a comment so I know you're safe. Me.
Answer that question for me too. Are you guys afraid of clowns? Let me know.
Personally, I can't really be bothered. There's things so much darker and more evil out there. Anyway, if you're feeling generous, I would really appreciate it if you'd leave a like as well. Number 14. Stumpy the Clown. A clown enters a Walgreens convenience store in Brownstown, Michigan one October morning and points a gun at the workers behind the counter, demanding cash. They quickly comply, and the killer clown runs out of the store with the loot. 2 customers pull up and start to get out of their car to go inside. He points the gun at them, shouts for them to get back into their car, and goes running off across the parking lot. Police later identify him as Todd Raymond Keith. They find out that he has been one busy clown. Aside from hitting up the local Walgreens, he had also knocked off 2 hotels, 2 banks, and carjacked a black Lexus in nearby Madison Heights.
That man's been on the work. That man's been working. He's been getting his stuff done. Man, that guy's been going full stop. He got banks, hotels, Walgreens, stole a car. This man's been getting his shit done with robbing people. Holy shit.
Somehow, he does all of this with a fake left arm. Just a couple of days later, a joint task force with members of the local police department and the FBI tracked Todd the evil clown to Ohio. They exchange gunfire, and this time he gets away on foot. Amazingly, it's the 3rd time he has escaped them this October. The other 2 times were high-speed chases, one of which was topping out at 120 miles per hour. There is now a $1,500 bounty on the clown's head, with no end in sight.
I want to know if anyone found it. I want to know.
Number 13. Clown Gnat. When school children began to see a creepy clown stalking them in a yellow van, the adults didn't think much of it. Even when children from 6 different local schools all started to tell their parents about the same strange clown following them around in the same yellow van, the adults still chose not to believe the kids' stories. Soon, the kids were saying that the clown was now chasing them all around town with a knife, but adults still didn't think that this was true. After all, it was May of 1981, and these kinds of things just didn't happen in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, 1981, not much. It sounds completely weird. And, like, it doesn't sound like something you would think, so I can understand why the parents would doubt. I thought this was more recent. I was about to say, this was recent. I was about to say, like, are you guys stupid? Like, no, 1981, I get it.
School would be let out for the summer, and soon the stories would all stop. They were sure of it. Little did the adults know exactly how wrong they would soon be proven. 2 sisters, one 6 and one 7, are walking towards their school bus one morning. Suddenly, a yellow van pulls up to the girls and stops. Inside is a dark-haired man wearing a clown outfit. His face is painted white with red polka dots and he looks extremely mean. He pulls out a knife and orders the sisters to get into his van, but they run screaming back to their house instead. Their mother witnesses the entire scene from the window and hurriedly lets the children in before the clown can get them. She slams the door shut and lets the horrifying reality set in. Now, she finally realizes that the stories were all real. She, along with countless others, had been treating their children like liars for telling the truth about nearly being killed almost every day after school. As for the clown himself, well, 2 words: never caught. Number 12.
I want to know how many children, if he got any children. That's what I want to know. I want to know if there's any children that he got that did not come home and end up killed by this damn clown. It's insane that this clown was able to take kids so easily. Or he even could have, because the parents didn't believe him, so no one was looking out to see if they were safe. They just assumed, yeah, they got that clown slowly. No! And it wasn't for those sisters getting noticed, and the parents noticed him, he made that, and now the clown's never caught. Who knows how many he's actually taken?
On a Saturday morning in May of 1919, Marlene Warren hears a knock at her door. She goes to answer it and finds a friendly clown waiting for her in an orange wig. The clown has a bouquet of flowers along with some balloons to give to her, one of them with a message on it that reads, "You're the greatest." Before Marlene has a chance to ask who these gifts are from, the clown pulls out a handgun and shoots the poor woman in the face. Her son hears the gunfire and comes running to the door. There, he finds his mother on the ground with a pool of blood growing all around her. The clown jumps into a white Chrysler LeBaron and speeds off. Police later find that the clown didn't want to take anything from the house. All the clown wanted, it seemed, was to commit murder. Marlene dies just 2 days later. As police put together the evidence, they turn their attention to her husband, Michael. They know that Michael would receive a 5-figure insurance payment for his wife's death, and he would also get all of her property, as well as her lucrative car dealership and her car rental agency too. There's definitely a motive for killing her, so they start poking around to find out exactly how. As it turns out, Michael was having an affair with a brown-haired woman named Sheila Keene. She repossessed cars for Maline's business and knew her quite well. In fact, according to police reports, people had seen Michael and Sheila eating lunch together every single day in the weeks leading up to the murder. Police had another important tip too. Just hours before the killing, a costume store owner called them and said they had sold a clown costume to a woman with brown hair. Two store cashiers were able to identify the woman as Sheila Keene. Still, as strange as this coincidence is, it isn't enough of a reason to arrest her. After all, Sheila could have just wanted to buy a clown suit at random that day. The police keep digging. Co-workers say that she had dressed like a clown before, but they weren't able to identify her outfit. It's still not enough. Next, the detectives identify both the flowers and the helium balloons as the same kind that are sold at a nearby grocery store called Publix. When they check the sales records of nearby Publix stores, they find a transaction for the balloons and the flowers at 9:22 a.m., just a short time before the murder. This store also happens to be right outside Sheila's apartment. 4 days after Marlene's murder, police find the abandoned Chrysler in a grocery store parking lot. Inside of the car, they find orange fibers that look like they might belong to a clown wig, along with some brown hairs. All of this is enough probable cause for a judge to grant police a search warrant for Sheila's residence. Sure enough, they find orange fibers and some brown hairs that look like the same kind of hair strands found in the Chrysler. Everything is sent to the FBI labs for further testing. As if this weren't enough, Sheila's husband said that his .38 caliber revolver went missing shortly before the murder. It was a very rare model. Marlene had likewise been shot with a .38 caliber revolver that was not a Smith & Wesson or a Colt, meaning that it had to be of a rare model too. Still, despite of all this circumstantial evidence, police were unable to pin the murder on Michael and Sheila. Apparently nothing came out of the lab tests, though the news reports never mention why. It was the early 1990s though, and testing methods were not all that great, so anything could have happened. The rest of the evidence was not strong enough to hold up in court, especially for a murder trial. As a result, Marlene's death was never solved. The killer clown never identified. Number 11. The War.
That's messed up. For the fact that this woman, I'm going to assume it's Michael and Sheila. I'm going to assume that she would recognize her husband. It was Sheila. And Sheila came to him with the clown. Sheila went to her house, gave her the stuff, shot her, and left, and was able to get away with it in the end, is insanity. Insanity. Like, unbelievable that just happened. Because that's next level right there. That's next level getting away with murder right there. Holy crap. Lucky enough she did have time for where DNA testing wasn't good.
Greta. A clown dressed in a checkered outfit with a skeleton mask terrorized shoppers in a Walmart parking lot in Alabama last month. The clown loomed over people's car windows, stood behind them while they returned movies at a video rental, and ran around laughing at random. His behavior made at least 3 people in the parking lot feel unsafe, and one person was even scared to tears. Cops eventually arrested 25-year-old Rodney Allen Byram and took him to jail for disorderly conduct. He broadcasted a portion of the night on his Facebook account. Number 10. The Social Media Circus. One October morning, students from the Sierra High School in Glendora, California are surprised to find a friend request from an unfriendly persona named Clowner Ho. The cover pic features the Joker along with his armed clown posse. Underneath are 2 disturbing messages. The first one's of a school shooting that will take place on the next day. It says that students should say their blessings. The second warning speaks of an even larger shooting that will take place after the first, and it advises anyone reading to either learn how to fist fight or shoot back if they want to survive. There's also an Instagram account by the same name containing more threatening pictures. Parents contact the principal, who immediately threatening pictures.
I'm just saying, they can't even spell 8 right. It's time to show we are not clowning around. That's not how you spell it. That's not how you spell clowning either. You literally have the N right there, so you know. What the hell? That definitely ain't how you spell 8. Even if that's who's learning how to spell here? This is children learning spelling right here. What the hell?
Cheers. Parents contact the principal, who immediately contacts the police. Authorities follow up on an anonymous tip that 19-year-old William Salazar is to blame and quickly get him to admit his guilt. The former Sierra High School student lives in another county and basically has no real reason to pull this prank, so many people think that his threats were legitimate. Obviously, the person who reported him thought so too. Real or not, Clowner Ho now sits in the Glendora City Jail with a $50,000 bail bond. Number 9. Highway Clowns. Imagine driving down a long stretch of road at night and seeing a mysterious clown staring back at you. That's what recently happened to a girl named Jamie Hill in London, Kentucky, when she was driving down Route 192 at 9 p.m. She saw a woman clown dressed in all black with a rainbow wig and a purple tutu standing under the road sign for West 80. Her face was caked with white makeup and it was all black around her eye. She held her arms dead at her sides, and she was definitely not smiling as the car passed by. The sight of a clown glaring at her by a busy intersection was enough to put Jamie into a state of immediate shock. She described it as something out of a horror movie and decided to take a picture for her own recollections. She really didn't think anybody would believe her either way, picture or not, and says she had no intentions of showing it to anybody. Only when other clown sightings started happening in the area did she step forward with her own story. Number 8. Warrants the Clown.
This is the guy that was the Facebook photo for Clowner Ho.
It's past midnight when the residents of an apartment complex in Bell County, Kentucky start hearing loud noises. The disturbance is coming from somewhere outside of the building, but there's nothing but woods in that direction. When tenants go to their window to see what's going on, they are horrified to see a clown crouched down at the edge of the woods looking back at them. He's wearing a black and white baggy suit and has on an evil-looking mask with a black nose and stars for eyes. When police come, the clown darts towards his car and speeds away. He is pulled over and arrested shortly after. It's unclear what 20-year-old Jonathan Martin intended to do if police didn't show up first. He already had 2 warrants for his arrest and might not have even lived there. Number 7. Bozo, the Trespassing Clown. A man from Burnside, Kentucky is with some of his friends when they see a gang of clowns driving around on his private property. After he and his friends confront them, the clown intruders scatter into the woods. The forest fills with shrieking laughter. At this point, the group is understandably too freaked out to want to follow a bunch of clowns.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I ain't following no clowns in no woods. Screw that shit. I'm going in there with some weapons. Because if you get me, either they get me or I get them. That'll be the thing. We go clown hunting. When they had all the clown signs, I was hoping one showed up in my area. I wanted to go clown hunting so bad.
Deeper into the forest, so they call 911. This is going to sound ridiculous, he says to the emergency operator. Deputy Sheriff Richard Smith and State Trooper Adam Childress soon arrive to investigate. It is probably the first time that they ever had to comb through the forest looking for fugitive clowns before. They don't find anything. The clowns were probably just trying to intimidate innocent people, they suspect. And they definitely did. Number 6. Cemetery clowns. A clown in Chicago was caught on tape prowling around an old cemetery late at night. Julia Graham and her husband are driving by the historic Rose Hill Cemetery at 10 p.m. when they notice a tall clown breaking in. The figure was already halfway over a 7-foot spiked gate when the couple snaps their first picture.
Oh, well that's a clown climbing over a fence right there. Yep, that's definitely a clown climbing over a fence. Now last thing I need is a clown in a cemetery. I want a clown in real life. I don't want no clown in a cemetery. No. Because you could be. I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't like that at all. Please don't. You stay out of cemeteries. They're already fucked up. Cemeteries are already weird to be in. I don't need to be no damn clown in no damn cemetery. All right? No. Nope.
They just stare in disbelief as the clown swings its large red shoes over the gate and drops down below. It's dressed in an oversized yellow suit with blue sleeves and has on a rainbow wig. The clown walks deeper into the graveyard, then suddenly turns around and waves at them with a knowing grin spread across its white face. Its hands move slowly and mechanically, more of a warning than a greeting. The couple knows that something is quite wrong and decides to leave. Before they go, however, they light up the area with their headlights to get one last final look. The clown waves at them a bit longer and then disregards them. It does a funny-looking run deeper into the 1800s cemetery and vanishes from sight. Number 5. Killer Clowns 101. Modern-day killer clowns are apparently big fans of social media, so it just seems right for them to give the state of Delaware a heads up before making their grand entrance. The invasion starts with a single picture of 2 killer clowns in their car. The passenger clown stares menacingly at the camera while holding a sickening smirk. Meanwhile, the driver flashes a row of sharp and pointy teeth. On our way to Wilmington, Delaware, the caption reads. There are only 2 clowns in the picture, but according to witnesses, there has to be a lot more than that. The University of Delaware is only 45 minutes away from Wilmington, and clown sightings soon begin to pop up all over campus. It gets so bad that 100 drunken fraternity members take to the streets with golf clubs, ready to take on the clowns. Despite their best efforts, however, the clowns continue to terrify the nearby area and beyond. They seem to especially enjoy stalking the Newark Cemetery in particular. This behavior matches other reports of seeing groups of clowns in cemeteries throughout the nation. What could they be doing out there? Do they share a common goal? One clown is even said to have been captured on the northern side of campus, though these early reports remain largely unverified. Until then, students of the University of Delaware remain on high alert, along with the rest of the state. Number 4.
I don't like that at all. No. I don't like the fact that people are even looking and they can't find these clowns who are terrorizing people. I don't like that at all. That ain't... Nope, I can go without that. I can go without that. I'd be going hunting too. I'd be hunting on my own though, because the clowns will come someone by themselves. They ain't gonna come in a group of 100 people. They'll come by someone by themselves, and you go hunting for them then. Hunting for their goddamn head with a baseball bat. That's what you do.
In September, Caleb the Clown makes a Facebook account and threatens 3 schools in Alabama. The plans are extremely specific and even include a time. Caleb vows to go into the Beauregard High School at 12.
To the head of the Beauregard High School, I will be at your school with a gun and walk down empty school and blow it up. Jokes then after we will go to Upper and do the exact thing, get ready. Come around 12:40, there's no place so serious.
12:40 in the afternoon with a gun. Next, the nearby elementary school will be targeted with bullets and bombs. After making this post, Caleb calls the schools to make sure they fully understand what is about to happen to them. Unlike Clowner Ho from earlier before, Caleb successfully sends 2 school districts into a full lockdown. Investigators immediately go on a massive clown hunt and check for any digital fingerprints that the maniac could have left behind. They manage to arrest someone that very same day, a 16-year-old girl who goes to Beauregard High. She is charged with multiple counts of terroristic threatening, which is a felony. If convicted, she could be heavily fined and face up to 10 years in prison. A lot of people suspect that the girl may have been framed though. The real Caleb is still out there, they say. It was around this time that more clowns were spotted around the nearby Auburn city schools too. Could one of them have been him? Number 3.
I don't know how she'd be able to tie it to her, but I mean, it's possible. Clowns are weird, like the people with playing kill clowns trying to stab you with guns. That's fucking weird, man. I can see it.
Class clowns. Carolyn Ricks is a school janitor at Taper Avenue Elementary in San Pedro, California. It's 8 p.m. and she has just finished cleaning the last door of the last bathroom for her shift. The school is practically empty and she is getting ready to clock out. But suddenly she finds 2 clowns blocking her way. They stare at her with emotionless eyes, side by side, not saying a word. One of the clowns literally has the word killer written across its forehead.
And I walk out and they like right here and they just standing side by side and they looking at me and they not saying nothing. I'm like, and one of them had a mask that said kill. I don't think I seen was killer.
The air grows heavy with tension. Carolyn doesn't know what to do and is silently panicking. Fortunately, someone had already alerted police. The pair of clowns run off when a squad car arrives. Police have since stepped up patrols day and night around the school, just in case the killer clowns come back. This just happened on the 4th of October. Meanwhile, the nearby San Pedro High School has started to receive threats from clowns too. Number 2. Stumpy the Clown. A man is walking his dog one night at 8 p.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Suddenly, an evil-looking clown with a black and white face, black and white clothing, and a dangly jester head comes out of the woods. A tense moment passes and the clown demands the victim's bike. When the man refuses to cooperate, the clown becomes angry and pulls out a knife. He slashes the man on the arm and then he runs back into the woods where he came from. Police arrive and search the area for the mad clown, but no one can be found. Even a K9 unit turns up no scent trail, not even a single step. Either this clown was extremely good at covering his tracks, or something more supernatural had taken place. Police have absolutely no leads and really don't know what to make of the situation. It really was as if nobody had been there at all. If the man wasn't stabbed, they might not have any reason to believe his story to begin with. As for the clown, even though he didn't get the bike, he did manage to get away with some bloodshed. When you're an evil clown, that's probably just as good anyway. Number 1. Withdrawals the Clown. Sean Jacota was a 35-year-old San Francisco clown with a rather unfunny addiction to pills. In 2014, he decided to satisfy his drug cravings and give people a show at the same time by robbing banks and pharmacies while dressed up in various clown disguises. During these robberies, Sean would walk straight up to the pharmacy cashier and point a silver handgun at them. Then he would take whatever prescription drugs they had and drive off. At banks, he would use a note instead of showing the gun. Police began to piece together the common theme of a clown robber and soon linked Sean to 15 different incidents. Agents set up multiple stakeouts in various banks and pharmacies and waited for him to strike again. Sure enough, The drug-addicted clown soon began hanging around a local pharmacy that was under watch. Authorities tried to arrest him on the spot, but Sean caught on and started running away. They tried to catch him on foot, but the clown was able to outsmart them. Still, they now knew his general location, so the chase was already as good as over. Police set up a giant perimeter and waited for Sean to reveal himself. They caught him the very same day. Finally, after more than a month of worrying, bankers and pharmacists in the San Francisco area would no longer have to fear being shot by a deranged clown. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more horror related content, please subscribe to this channel and to my channel. My name is Sir Aim. You can find my link in the description right under here.
Alrighty, well that is it for this reaction video. Hope you all enjoyed this video, enjoyed this reaction. Killer clowns are weird, man. They're really creepy, they're bizarre, they're just weird. I don't like it. I don't like their weirdness. I think it needs to be stopped. Thank God we don't really deal with them anymore, at least to my knowledge. But ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment what you think down below. Let's get to those 200 subscribers. Come on, we can do it! Let's do it! Thank you all for watching. I will see you all for the next one.